Hi, this is Emma Sydney from heartrightsfoundation.org, and I'm here to talk to you about Facebook and how to set up a Facebook account as a parent for your child. As a social media mentor in my business social media mentor training, I do get asked how to make sure my child is safe on Facebook. So the first thing to understand is the general rules around Facebook profiles and what you can do to set one up. Facebook does require you to be at least 13 years old and sometimes older, and certainly you need to have an account. Even if you're a parent, you shouldn't be registering for one unless your child is at least 13, as you can see here. Now, let's just say you're signing up for Facebook in the first place. How do you make that safe? First thing I would recommend is that you actually make a clean account. You can do this through something like gmail.com. And I've set one up under elephant.sydney@gmail.com. So this is a brand new account. No one has the email address, and unless they are given it by me, they won't be able to find me on Facebook, provided I use the right settings. Now I'm going to go into Facebook with this account. Now I have already registered this, but this is what the sign up process looks like. So I would sign up. I tried to put elephant in and it doesn't allow that, so it does recognize that elephant isn't a first name, so you do need a first name of some kind. And I've set it up with the details here. The date of birth I'm putting in is over 13 but under 18, so I've put in this date of birth, 2001, female, and then I've hit sign up. Now, because I've already signed up before, it comes back up here and it tells me I need to log in rather than sign up. But if you hit this button for the first time, it would go through. So I'm going to log in instead. Now, as a new account, this is what I end up with. The first thing I needed to do was verify it. So I went back into my Gmail. I got a new email from Facebook, and you can see that you've got information on how to get into Facebook. So the first thing you need to do is confirm your account, then you're good to go. So here I am good to go, having done that. It will ask me whether I want to put in an email address to find people, and of course you can do that. If people have your email address, they can search you by that, potentially also your mobile number, so you need to set that up properly. And it does have its own internal privacy settings here, which you can use, obviously. There's also more privacy settings over here, and this is in your help center. You can look up Facebook help, privacy settings and tools. However, my goal for you as a busy parent is to get you going quickly and also give you the more important information that reading a document isn't going to help you with. So here you go. Welcome to Facebook. Now, I actually added Emma Sydney, my real profile, to this fake account. And as a result, it's giving me suggestions for friends that I know. So these are people that my friend Emma Sydney on Facebook knows. What that means is that once your child has a friend, it's going to get friend suggestions. So you need to be aware that they can friend other people, and they need to know that they know these people and that they're not a fake account. And I'll show you a couple of examples of cautionary tales that you can use regarding that. First, we're going to get the settings correct. Now, as a setup process, I did actually put a photo up. So that's the photo that I put up. And you can update the profile picture, upload a picture, or take a photo. I'd recommend you consider something like a meme or an avatar rather than a photo, and something fairly sedate up here, because these things can be seen by the public and you want to make sure that it's only people that you should have as friends for your child who do friend your child. I'm going to go to settings now. So up here there's a drop down arrow, a blue arrow, and it goes to settings. This is where your privacy information really kicks off. It's got your general account information. You can certainly put in usernames, and there's other details you can put in there. Now, privacy itself. Who can see my stuff? This is the first and most important thing. Who can see things on my timeline? Who can search me? So who can see your future posts? You've got the choice as to whether that's going to be friends, only me, or custom. Friends is generally the setting that people would have. Friends of friends gives reach beyond the people who have that email address, so I'd recommend that that is not what you do. If you say only me, it kind of defeats the purpose of Facebook, because that means only your child can see anything that's posted, nobody else. Custom is a good interim step as well. So for example, there is a child at school they don't want to share with, you can put people's names in there so that only the people they want to have information shared with can share it. Now, I'm going to close that, and I would suggest that this review all your posts is on. So this information can be good as a parent. If you need to go in and see what activity has occurred, if there's an issue, then that's where this sits. So that's in review all posts and things you tagged in, use the activity log. That will show you what's been going on, what have they liked, what have they commented on, where do they appear. Limit the audience for posts. This is for past posts. So say your child had an issue, you can actually confirm that they've got the right information. You can limit the posts and who actually gets to see old information on their timeline, which is a good idea sometimes when there's a concern that occurs. Who can send you friend requests? If you say everyone, that's good, as long as you have control over how they send you those requests, which we'll get to. So everyone just allows everyone who searches you to send you a request. Otherwise, it could just be friends of friends. That's also a reasonable setting for a child. The main reason why I use this is for privacy. I would use the email address as being the marker. So the only way that people can friend me here, everyone can friend me, but the ones who can search me are going to look up the email address. It says also look up phone number. You can do that, but obviously this is a little bit less private, so I haven't provided a phone number, which prevents anyone looking me up that way. As a child, search engines don't link to your timeline, so you can enable it when you're 18, but otherwise they won't actually be able to search on Google via your name and find you that way, so that's good. Now, timeline and tagging. Timeline and tagging is important. Who can add things to my timeline? So somebody coming onto your timeline, so that's this area here. So they're on your timeline, this tag here. Somebody can post onto that timeline by putting in some information, going to your page, putting some information in and hitting post. So that's what that's talking about. Now if we go back to settings, I'd recommend that you don't mind necessarily people posting on your timeline. That's part of being a friend. However, review posts. So this is not automatically enabled. You want to go into it, it'll be disabled. You want to enable that and make sure that if someone does post to your timeline, then they're actually prompted as a child to check that that's okay and they can add it to the timeline or they can hide it. And that'll prevent potentially embarrassing things to happen. And again, you'd go back into that timeline review that we talked about earlier, and that's where you'd receive information about someone tagging. Okay, we're going to close that. Now, review what other people see on your timeline. If you ever want to check what your child is showing the world, you can view as in this section. So you can put in someone's name and you can pretend that this is what they're seeing. So you'd be able to see whether they could see their profile picture, whether they could see their banner photo, or whether they could see any of their posts. Who can see posts you've been tagged in? So I've got friends of friends in here. I would suggest only friends. Or if you want to be even more strict, you could say only me. So your friend can see, your child can see if a friend tags them, but no one else can see that tag. That can prevent embarrassing situations. Review tags friends add to your own posts before the tags appear. I would suggest you have this on. That means if someone tries to tag a photo or a name, you get to choose. And again, it's an enable, disable situation. And when you're tagged, who do you want to see it? And I've got friends in that as a default. You could actually have only me. That might be a nice one. But again, as before, you've got that custom box where you don't want to share with somebody. You can actually prevent that. So that can prevent bullying. And Who sees tag suggestions? This is not available because you're under 18, so that's good. The next video that I put up will be about blocking, this section over here, blocking and reporting posts. So this is when something occurs that you feel is inappropriate and you want to actually report whether the profile is not a real profile or whether the post is inappropriate. And I'll go through that in a separate video, but that's all for now. Have a good day.